This podcast contains strong language and discussions about relationships, sex, and love. It may not be suitable for younger listeners. This is the Sex and Singapore City podcast, and I am Nick Selena. Hi, it's Nick Selena. Yay to this episode. No more safe distancing restrictions. We're free! Guys, girls, we're free! We can intermingle. We can have groups of any size. I mean, don't quote me on that. I don't know if there's some secret size limit to groups. But as far as I'm aware, we're open the fuck up. So I thought it's the perfect time in Singapore to do the episode of 10 tips on how to approach people in real life. You've spent, my friends, single friends, hopefully not married friends, you spent, my friends, a good 2 or so years stuck on dating apps because that's the only way we could meet someone. We were screwed. Even when it started opening up, we couldn't go up to that hot guy with his friends at the table, the max of 5. You know, we couldn't go in and say, hey, checking you out, here's my number. We couldn't do that. So we've been stuck to dating apps. And it's probably now warped our perception on real life dating. And it generally probably made you quite scared to actually approach someone in real life. So how do you do it? Okay, I've got 10 awesome tips. I'll be quick as a fiddle with this, but please note them down or bookmark this episode so you can go back to them. Because honestly, I was, and I am the fucking queen of approaching people. I would be slightly cocky in my 20s and go into a club and I'd look around and I'd find this hot guy and I'd be like, right, I'm leaving with his number tonight. That's the guy. Or I would approach people in shops. I remember once I saw this hot guy in Primark. The fact that we don't have a Primark in Singapore is a travesty, okay? Let's start an online petition to bring Primark here. I promise you won't regret it. So I was in Primark and this guy was hot. He worked there. I mean, this is like my early 20s, okay? So don't judge me on that. But he worked there and I was like, yeah, hot. Checked him out here and there. I left and I was like, fuck this. On the back of the receipt that I've just bought some stuff, I wrote my name, wrote my number, walked back in, handed him the receipt with my name. Didn't say anything, just handed it over. Of course, I got an immediate text. So I've also given people I once had business cards. Honestly, my business cards was mainly to give my number to hot guys. I threw them out on the tube like no one's business, especially after a press event. I would be like, if I saw someone looking up, go and give them a number. 9 times out of 10, they would text or call, right? I had a huge success rate. And the conversations would be quite brief and I would make sure I timed it so it's not awkward. You know, if they're like, I don't fancy you, I'm married, or no thank you, of course, that's bound to happen. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, I would get hit up. So here's my personal tips on how to approach people in real life. Number 1, read the room first. Read the room. I'm talking about body language, eye contact, atmosphere, settings, right? Don't go up to someone who hasn't even acknowledged your existence in any way or doesn't seem interested in anything but hanging out with their friends, because you're never going to get a good response and you might even end up just annoying them. No. Read the room. If you then catch someone's eye and there's you can tell, right? I mean, you can just tell if someone's looking at you, you know. Then you can start to think, oh, actually, there seems to be something here. I might try something. So then point number 2, don't send your friends. Okay, we're not in high school. I know it's awkward and humiliating and scary. And what if they tell you to fuck off or turn you down? But it doesn't matter. Don't send a friend. Okay? it's just too awkward, and it doesn't come across with that kind of personal, self-assured confidence that people want to be around. Which leads me to my point number 3, is your confidence. When you approach this person, try and muster up as much confidence as you can, because it's what people are attracted to, and it will help, present you better. Like, this guy might be like, fuck me, this girl come up to me tonight. Like, how badass is that? And she was just so, like, fun and self-assured and confident. Like, yeah, I'm in. Always, always go with confidence and fake it if you don't have it. And once you do this a few times of approaching people in real life, your confidence will naturally come anyway, because you'll stop being so concerned about doing it. Point number 4, don't be too eager or outstay. In that, like, if you say, hey, no, I thought I'd come over, introduce myself. I'm Nick Selena. It's nice to meet you. What are you guys up to tonight? Here's my number. If you want to hang out after, let me know. Or here's my number. If you're free at the weekend, let's do something. And then you leave. Obviously, let them respond, but you can't just leave without them saying, like, hi, I was having a conversation with you and you just fucked off. But just don't wait till there's like a natural end to the conversation. You can usually tell if someone wants to continue the conversation, or they're saying, oh, okay, like, so what do you do? Where are you from? Where are you going after? Then, talk it out, whatever. But don't then suddenly, immediately join their table or ditch your friends or anything. Keep it as short and sweet as possible, because this also keeps them hanging on to thinking, oh yeah, she's really awesome. She's really hot. Like, oh, I love her confidence. And she's just like, okay, coming over, giving her number, and she's off. Sweet. They'll remember you that way. Point number 5, leading on from that point before. Point number 5 is enigmatic. So if you want to be slightly enigmatic, you don't turn up and spill your life story having just met this person 2 minutes ago. You can get a drink together, like, hey, can I buy you a drink? And yes, you can buy men drinks. Fucking buy men drinks. Or they'll probably go, no, let me buy you one. Cool, done. Buy me one then. Don't spill your life story. Don't outstay. You stand there. You want to be enigmatic. You want to be casual. And you want to come across in a way that's like kind of like fun and chilled, authentic, but sexy. And just be true to yourself. Being true to yourself also leads on to point number 6. Accept rejection. This sucks. And this is the reason why most of us don't even want to do this in the first place. Don't want rejection. No, thank you. Bye. The law of averages says you will get rejected. If you approach people in real life, you are bound to get rejected at some point. That person might not even fancy women. That person might be happily married, or that person might fancy your friend. I mean, shit like this happens, okay? Except rejection is on the cards. Then it's not so scary, and it's not an issue. Like, you know what? I'm going to go and approach this guy. I got my number ready, or I want to put it in his phone or take his number, whatever. He might not want my number, but he also might want my number. And if he doesn't want it, it's okay. Just another guy. It's no love lost. And I won't regret not going up to see him, So rejection's part and parcel of this, and you just got to really get over that hump of being rejected. It's not embarrassing. Obviously handle it well. It's embarrassing if you start going stuff like, well, I didn't even want your number anyway, crap like that. If you just go, oh, no worries, take care, have a great night, and you leave, there's no harm done at all. If that is all you've got to be worried about, that scenario, who cares? Point number 7. Be authentic when talking. So if they are engaged in a conversation, don't start making up crap like a job you don't do, or a lifestyle you don't have, or a narrative that's not true because you want to impress them. No, just be authentic who you are, because if this does turn into something, they will remember that first conversation. And if you're like, oh, actually, I'm not a vet, I work in admin, or, oh, actually, I'm not 28, I'm 19. You know, like often the age thing, and I did it in my early 20s, if they said, oh, you know, how old are you? And you're like, how old do you think I am? And then they say they're like, I don't know, 31, and you're 21, your instinct is to be like, oh, I'm 25 or 26, because you don't want your age to put them off. This will come out in the end. It always does. So be authentic when you are talking to them. Point number 8, do not get so hung up on this person if it goes well that it changes your entire plans that night. So no one likes a bailer from the group, and you don't want to be like, right, girls, I'm going to go, this guy I'm really interested in, so we're going to the bar they're at. Firstly, it seems creepy and weird if you're immediately joining their plans. Like, if you're out, he's out, you're out, you've both got things going on. Yes, it's cool to want to hang out and you just met, I get it, but say you're planning to go home and they're like, hey, well, if you don't want to go home, you can join us. Fine. Or say you're like, oh, okay, well, we're going to go to this bar after, or this club. And the guys are like, oh, okay, like maybe we'll all come. Fine. But don't be like, right, girls, bye, I'm off. Because also it looks extremely like, on the receiving end, it does look like a bit needy and a bit clingy and desperate. The attractiveness, it always comes from someone who holds their own space, who has their own life plans. And you don't want to set up from the initial impression that you are so malleable and palatable to just suddenly go to them and whatever they're doing and ditch your own thing. That's never going to, end well down the long term. Point number 9. If they do contact you, respond. Say they text you that night, like, hey, thanks for the number. Like, you left, I saw you left. Are you okay? Like, what you're up to? Respond to them. Don't do this whole, I'm going to leave it 3 days. Because if you're going up to someone and you've approached someone in real life, then they text you, it would look weird if you leave it 3 days. Just don't play those games. Text them, respond, keep it sweet, keep it short, but be your authentic self that you were in person. Like, I always text back if I get like a message straight away. If I'm interested in the dialogue, I don't see this like 3 days rule, 7 days rule. Like, you don't want to be texting them non-stop, of course, but don't ignore them, because then they might just swiftly forget about you. Or maybe you weren't the only girl that they spoke to that night and they just suddenly decide because you didn't respond that you're probably not interested anymore and went with the other one. And finally, point number 10, if this does all work out and you get to this point, do not immediately add them on social media. Still part of the little enigmatic bubble you want to keep, but also you don't want to be adding anyone that you meet left, right and centre on social media, because you don't really know much about this person yet. So allow this tryst, if you will, to stay authentic in the present, and allow your little fun love bubble that you're going to have going on with this person, allow it to be very present in real life. Don't add them on social media. Don't stalk them on social media, because social media, as we all know, is full of lies and bollocks, and you will get an impression about this person that might not even be true. And they might then get one about you as well and might be like, oh, nah, thanks, So keep it purely to actual dating and keep them off social media, especially if all you had was a brief chat in like one bar before you guys parted ways. Okay, I hope that helps you guys. If you are concerned and scared still about approaching people, or you've had some sort of horror story which has put you off for life, please reach out to me. And if you're a hot guy at a bar that I've approached with my number, please text. Just kidding. And on that note, I'm out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to the Sex and Singapore City podcast. This episode was produced and hosted by me, Nick Selena, and recorded at the Splicecast studio in Singapore. I'm available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and all major podcast listening apps. Do subscribe to enjoy a new episode every Monday evening. Please do give me a 5-star review. It helps other people also find my podcast. For more awesome content and features to read, you can check out my website, sexandsingaporecity.com. That's sexandsingaporecity.com. I'm also on social media. Simply search at Nixalina, Nixalina, to find me. Don't be shy. Come say hi.